Thanks for tapping in with 95 South TV, hosted by Ikon and KJ, bringing you the best news and media through the efforts of the community. We interview nonprofit organizations, business owners, school teachers, spiritual leaders, and anybody who has an impact in the community that has a remarkable backstory. These professionals that we bring on this show has a story that will wow you, that will knock your socks off. And with that being said, we want you to tune in, keep it locked. We want you to like, share, follow, and subscribe. Be a dedicated listener. Come in, and if you require to do an interview, you can definitely reach out to us at 95southpodcast@gmail.com. Thank you for.
What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Ikon. And once again, we're here on 95 South TV. You know what I'm saying? First and foremost, I want to thank God for this opportunity because without him, there'll be no us. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all just see me on the screen, but my brother from another mother, you know what I'm saying? Your baby mama favorite host, Barry White Jr., he is in the background. What's going up, King Jacob? How you doing, brother?
What up? What up? What up, man? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good, man. Hey, you know what? It's good to be back. It's been a minute since we've been on here live or whatever doing our thing, but we back in the flesh doing it again. So yeah, man. I'm gonna let you throw it out there, man. What's gonna be the first topic of the night?
Um, I guess, man, the first topic of the night, Trump is doing too much, and it's not getting any better.
Okay, okay. So
So,
elaborate.
man, you attacking all the people with the natural resources like Venezuela. Then you say you going to Ghana and anybody with any natural resources, whether it comes to diamond, gold, or the natural gas, the minerals. He's attacking all those people, man. It's just some crazy mess, man. So uh, those people can be used as our allies as well, man. So why attack them? They have been our allies for years, and so just why attack them and trying to take something from them? That they've been fighting amongst each other for the last 4,000 years, man, and now they got it resolved. Here you want to come in and bully these people. Why you kidnap the president of Venezuela and his wife? Why? It makes no sense.
Yeah, yeah. I just think that at this point, Trump doing whatever he wants to do, and the it I think they're allowing him to do it. They're allowing the rest of the government, the rest of the Democrats, the rest of the Republicans are allowing him to do it. Um, at the end of the day, we could say, well, why is he doing this and why is he doing that? But I guarantee you, if that was Barack, if that was even Biden, they wouldn't allow him to do the stuff he's doing. So, but they're allowing him to do it because because whatever reason they scared of him. You know what I'm saying? They scared of Trump for whatever reason. They scared of Trump. So that's just like a bully. You know what I'm saying? That's just like a child. If you let them get away with certain stuff for so long, they're gonna keep doing it. His first 4 years, he know he'd get away with certain stuff. He came back the second 4 years and he got worse. Cause not right now he on his revenge tour. That's what Trump was on right now. You know what I'm saying? It's not about whether it's right or wrong. It's about that Trump on his revenge tour, and until he stopped and somebody one the Senate or the Congress or somebody comes in and shuts him down, he gonna keep doing whatever he wants. Point blank. Period. That's just all. That's just the thing. When you evil like Trump, you just gonna keep doing stuff until somebody actually puts their foot down. Until the Republicans and the Democrats and the Senate and the Congress put their foot down with Trump, he gonna keep doing what they're doing. They done impeached this man twice. He don't care about being impeached a third time. It's like somebody who goes to prison and they've been going to prison, the prison system their whole life, and then you finally you give them 5 or 10 years. They like, man, I can do that. I can do that standing up. I can do that sitting down or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Trump is. He's somebody that don't care about, like, you know what I'm saying, doing the right thing no matter what. You know what I'm saying? That just is what it is. You know? So
I, I got you. So I can let me ask you this. And I've been across the fence with this for some years, man. And I know, black and brown people fought hard to get the right to vote. But in my mind, does the black vote really matter? And why or why not? Why does it matter or why does it matter? In your opinion, man.
well, to me, it's not about the black vote mattering or not mattering. It's more about concerning to me that black people don't use their power. You know, we don't use our power the right way. Because first of all, we spend $3 trillion a year in product, you know what I'm saying, in around the country. But what we don't do is we don't exercise it in the way that you will see the LGBT community, where you will see the Asians or the Chinese or whoever. You see them when they want something done, they move according a certain way. But black folks, what we do is we could stop all of this if we stop shopping at certain places. If we stop shopping at Walmart, Target, all these big name brands, and just say, you know what, we just gonna shop black. We just gonna shop in our own neighborhoods, and we gonna shop. You know what I'm saying, and put the money back into our own communities instead of going into these big name brands until they do right by us. See, the thing about it, people, and I talk about this all the time. When they boycott, they did the bus boycott. That was several months in. That wasn't a couple of days. That wasn't a week. That when white folks were doing their boycott a few months back when they was trying to target find certain days to target, like to boycott Target in certain places on certain days. I'm like, what is that? You know what I'm saying? Black folks had to do real protesting, real boycotting. And the thing about it is we even like when it's throwing the Trayvon Martin and the George Floyds, we think marching up and down an interstate gonna do something. They don't care about none of that. That just give them more of a reason to try to shoot us down or spray us with dog pepper spray at us or send the dogs out or whatever. That's all that does. You know what I'm saying? That's like taking bug spray and spraying around the house thinking that's gonna kill something. Bug spray ain't never worked. So at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's the same thing. Black folks we have to start come up with strategic plans to actually be able to go against what they're doing to us if we really want change. You know what I'm saying? If we really want change, stop wearing Gucci and Louis and all this, and then thinking that's gonna make a change. You know what I'm saying? Well, you're not willing to really go out there in the trenches and make something happen. You know what I'm saying? A few years ago when T.I. was trying to do the 1 day boycott, people talking about that ain't enough that time. It wasn't, but he was trying to do was make a point and say if we stop this for 1 day and they start looking at their numbers and saying, "Ooh, we lost millions of dollars in this 1 day from black people not shopping," what'll happen if they keep doing this over and over again? You know what I'm saying? But see, what happens is we sit back and wait for the government to take care of us all the time. That's what's wrong with black people and poor people in general. We always wait for the government to take care of us and feel like, oh, because we voted, they obligated to take care of us. At this point, we should know better. You know what I'm saying? The government don't care about us believing that we're supposed to take care of us. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? So until we do something different, we're going to keep getting the same results over and over again. People sitting around waiting for Don. They've been talking about giving us a check for $2,000 since he got in the White House in last January. We still ain't seen that check. They talked about the food price supposed to be going down. Food prices gets going up, and at the same time, the food looking worse. Every time I go into a truck stop, and I used to buy fruit like grapes and watermelon and stuff like that, cantaloupe inside the truck stores. You see that? If you see that fruit right now, I'd rather eat fried chicken and pork chops before I eat this fruit that's just in the store lately. You go to Walmart, go to Kroger, go to some of these big name brands. That fruit look terrible. You know what I'm saying? I was in Walmart last week about to get me some fruit. I said, no, I'm good. You ain't about to give me this mess. You know what I'm saying? So we got to figure out a different way, a different approach to be able to deal with the government. Because if we keep doing the same thing, we're gonna keep getting the same results. Point blank, period. You know what I'm saying? But So I do want to talk about something, switching gears a little bit. Um, I do want to talk about the fact of, now go ahead. I'm gonna give you one more. I'm gonna give you one more. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. You there,
So
Jake? Yeah.
yeah,
Go
I'm
ahead.
here. I'm here. So icons, what are they gonna do in this education system to get more teachers to teach special needs kids? It's not nearly enough. How can we as the people orchestrate and make this claim known that we've been preaching about this for a long time? We need more classrooms, more teachers, and more and better curriculum for kids who have autism.
Well, I mean, because it's not a priority for them. It's not a priority to teach kids. Because you got to think about it like this, Jacob. When the government puts out money for something, whether it's for production, whether it was for the car companies, whether it's for warehouses, whether it's for farming, whatever it is that they allocate money for, it's because they look at it as down the line. How are we going to produce? How are we going to get this money back? How is this going to be a productive thing for society? So just like they're not gonna put money to try to save the homeless, they're not gonna put money behind the autistic, the people. You know what I'm saying? Like they looking at autism is like, to them, it's a burden to them, for the government. For it's not something they look at and say, okay, if we put money behind autism kids, that they're gonna be that it's gonna change the way the world works and United States works. It's not going. That's not the way they look at stuff. So they're not gonna. So when people have to raise money for autism, those are individual private companies that do that. That's individual people. But the government is not going to put money behind stuff that they know for them that it's not going to make them any money. It's a money game for them. It's not about, oh, well, we feel sorry for these kids, let's help them. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? They could care less. It's like you see homeless people all up and through Atlanta, and you go to they bust they bust the homeless from Seattle to Atlanta. Now, how crazy do that sound? They bust the homeless from Seattle and took them to Atlanta to be homeless. Think about that for a second. You know what I'm saying? So you think they care about autistic kids? They don't. You know what I'm saying? So and it's bad enough that most school systems lack teachers as it is. Most school systems lack good teachers as it is. My granddaughter just got we had to pull our granddaughter out of her school and put her into a private school because they wasn't doing what they supposed to do. You feel what I'm saying? So we had to take her out of that school and put her to another school, to a private school, because the public school was looking at her like as another number. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, they could care less about any of that when it comes to autism, when it comes to homelessness, when it comes to anything. My son, my oldest son, he's autistic. That when he was in Clayton County in Georgia, they had the Special Olympics. They took that away from them. And you know how much them kids love the Special Olympics? You know what I'm saying? They love the Special Olympics just as much as the people that do the regular Olympics does. You know what I mean? They put in the same type of hard work and time and energy to go out there, and they had some big production behind it, and you know what I'm saying, and a lot of volunteers and people coming out there getting them kids prepared just to, you know what I'm saying, and do whatever whatever thing they're gonna do, whatever games they gonna participate in, and they took that away from them. You know what I'm saying? So America care less about anything that doesn't make money. You know what I'm saying? So that's just the bottom line to it. So um,
I got
but
one more thing, Icon,
what's that?
and maybe you can help me understand this. I mean, you spoke about this before. I'm always for the veterans
Uh-huh.
because they put their life on the line, and they they did something that they didn't have to do, bro. They didn't have to join the military, and they didn't have to have this thing where they want to represent their country, they want to fight for their country. But I've lived in multiple cities, DC and Fort Lauderdale, Miami area. I've been out there in Texas. I lived upstate in the DMV and in Delaware, but it's just really starting to bother me, man. When I was meeting these people and offered to buy them something to eat, offered to get them a, you know, a washcloth and a towel and some new underwear and a t-shirt and some shorts or just whatever I can do to help them, man. And I was like, man, how you get this way, man? He said, when I came back from Desert Storm, man, I was mentally ill, you know, and I used to have nightmares and stuff like that. And so when I came here, man, I couldn't get the proper help I need. And he said my family was scared of me. You know what I'm saying? So, here I am. And he said, don't you realize, young man, that there are 64,000 homeless veterans in the United States of America? I said, no, I never knew that. He's like, yeah, man. He said almost 70,000 veterans that's homeless, and we was on the front line. I just couldn't do nothing but shake my head, man. Almost was in tears, man. That makes no sense to me, man. So you a military veteran, you was in the military, man. What has happened that the military don't take care of their people, man?
Brother, I know where you been these last 30, 40 years, but this ain't nothing new. Think about it. It's been going on since Vietnam, Jacob. At the end of why you think when they came back from Vietnam, a lot of them soldiers came back and was hooked on heroin. Because when they was over there and they was getting injured, they was giving them whatever they was giving them, opiates or whatever they was giving them for their pain. So when they came back to the United States, a lot of the veterans was hooked on different drugs. If you go watch the movie Dead President, see everybody look at stuff sometimes it's just a movie being a movie. But when you watch the Lorenz Tate part, when he came back from the military, him and Chris Tucker's part, Chris Tucker was hooked on heroin in the movie. That was a real thing when these soldiers came back. If you watch Jason Lyrics with what's his name Forrest Whitaker, Mad Dog, that was a real thing. You know what I'm saying? So they've always, when the military guys come sometimes get out the military, especially back then in the 60s and 70s, and they come back and they don't have any jobs for them or whatever, and you done spent 4 years or 8 years of your time in the military, and you come back, and you can't find a job, that's always been a thing. That's always been how it's always been. And I tell people, see, the thing about it is they say, okay, we get free health care from the military, right? But anything you get for free, and think about it, you get what you pay for. So at the end of the day, I remember last year, and I had this bad thing of biting my fingernails, and I ain't gonna lie, I've had to get my finger cut open like 8 different times for them to get the infection out because I would bite my fingernails so bad that I would get infection in my fingers, and it would puff up real bad, and they would have to get the infection out my finger every time. And my doctor told me because I'm a diabetic, so my doctor because I went to like the VA. I didn't go to my doctor. I went to the VA. I went to the emergency room, and it's a black doctor that's always he always works the overnight shift. Real cool guy. He told me, he said, I'm gonna tell you straight up. He said you need to get you some private insurance. He said the military insurance is just for basically basic minor stuff. He said, but if you really want to get treated for whatever you got going on, then you need to get you a private insurance. Because the thing about it is when you go to the VA and they like in a couple of weeks from now, I'm gonna go to the get my doctor. I'm going to my doctor's appointment. And I'm gonna tell my doctor, I'm gonna tell the nurse, okay, I got this wrong with me, I got this wrong with me, blah, blah, blah. All she gonna do is tell the doctor, you know what they gonna do? A week later, they gonna send me a bunch of medication in the mail. That's all they gonna do. If it ain't nothing that serious, or they don't feel like it's that whatever, then they might do some extra testing. But if it ain't serious enough to test, they just gonna throw a bunch of pills at me. Why you think that when you go to a clinic or something, it's called practice? Because they practicing on your black ass. They practicing on your poor people. So basically, they just give poor people a bunch of medication and say, "Well, let me see if this gonna stick." Just like I was on what's that dang, I'm trying to think of that diabetic pill. The one because the one that always make give everybody headaches and make them go to the bathroom a lot. Now glipizide does that too. Glipizide got me peeing like I done drunk a gallon of gin or something. It had
Yeah,
me
man.
peeing all the doggone day.
You
Huh?
actually talking about metformin.
Metformin. I had to tell them take me off for metformin. For 6 months I was getting migraines and I was going to the bathroom every 3, 4 hours. And I'm talking about taking a dump. And I told my doctor, she like, well, you gotta take it every day and get used to it. Doc, I am taking it every day. That's why I stopped taking it because I got tired of going to the bathroom every 2 hours, you know what I'm saying, to take a dump, you know what I'm saying, for no reason. I ain't even ate nothing and I'm going to the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, nah, and then it giving me a migraine. I'm like, no medication, all medication, you take anything for the first time, first couple of times you take, you gotta get used to it. I get all that. But not 6 months in. You know what I'm saying? I should be still getting migraines. And I had a cousin. He was the same way. He was on metformin. And he said it was giving him headaches and all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, like, at the end of the day, no, I'm not going to keep taking this mess. And it's making me sicker. And you know what I'm saying? So my family even told me, like, you got to come off some of this medication or don't take it every day. So, like, my pills, I don't even take them every day. I kind of take them, like, every other day when I was going to the bathroom too much. And then when I was taking both my glipizide and my other medication, it was making me real sluggish. So I'm just like, I don't think that I don't supposed to be feeling sluggish like this all the time. You know what I'm saying? So I knew then that something wasn't right with this picture. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, I
Yeah,
want to
man. So I
uh
can before you move on. Yeah, I've been seeing what's been going on for a long time, but I just wanted to know what happened to the disconnect where the government claimed to be this greatest government in the whole world, United States of America, and they let they veterans fall by the wayside like that, man. So I just want to know, is that a broken system that they're hiding? That's all.
I just think that the system. Well, we always say the system is designed how it's supposed to be designed. They designed the system a certain way. So at the end of the day, once you serve your country and you leave, it's just like any other job. You done left. We give you certain things, we give you certain privileges like the VA or the GI Bill. And we if you do 20 years, you get a check the rest of your life. But but even some most long time, that's not enough. How many times you done seen somebody that did 20 years in prison and then 20 years in prison, 20 years in the military, and then when they get out, they still gotta work a regular job. My dad was the same way. My dad did 20 years, still had to work a regular job when he got out. You know what I'm saying? If you work 20 years and you're supposed to be retired, I don't care what it is, you're supposed to be able to retire and not have to work no more. But most people that retire from the military after 20, 25 years still got to work. You know what I'm saying? I don't see that. I've never really seen. I think my brother-in-law is probably the only person I know, and that's because he get a check for disability and he get a retirement check. But if he wasn't getting both of those checks, then you know what I mean. Then more than likely he would probably still have to work. But I ain't seen that many people. Even I know one guy, he was getting a check for disability, and I think he was getting like 80% or something like that. And he got his 20, and he still was doing security work. One of my I give you a good example, great example. I had a friend, he done passed a name named Ray, good guy. He did Vietnam War. He contracted Agent Orange or whatever back in the middle and back then. It took him 15 years after he retired to be able to get a disability check and a check for having Agent Orange or whatever. And his PTSD was so bad, he would get up in the middle of night and be standing over his wife with a knife sometimes. That's how bad his PTSD was because he thought he was back in war and he'd be standing over her with a knife at sometimes at night. But it took him 15 years, and after 15 years, they only gave this man a check for $15,000. And he had agent on when a lot of soldiers was contracting over there overseas. You know what I'm saying? So
So
that's
so did he get 100% disability every like like for every month? Like did he get the max?
all I know is I don't know as far as I'm pretty sure he got 100% 100% disability or whatever. Because I'm trying to think. I don't think he did 20 years. So that's the thing. I don't think he got He didn't get a retire. He didn't get a retirement check because I don't think he did 20 years. But for the time he got, that's why I said that's why he had to sue for the 15,000 or whatever. I mean for the Agent Orange disease because he wasn't getting a retirement check. And as far as I think he eventually got disability, but it took him a long time to get it. It took him like 15 years to get it.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. I don't know why, but it took him that long. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. But yeah, like I said, man, they just don't treat these military folks right. That's just the way it is. But I was gonna change gears a little bit. I want to
Okay.
talk about this queso case. For people that don't know, queso was the guy who basically was getting into it with the rapper down there. Was it Julio Fulio
Hmm.
or whatever? And he ended up going to prison. He ended up going to prison and his dad has snitched on him. Cause so what happened if you don't know the story, the guy who Queso, him and his brothers, and I guess it was some other guy who him and his brothers and stuff and nephew and cousins and stuff, they got their car got shot up one night after a show. And everybody in the car, like five or six of them in the car. Everybody in the car got shot. One guy, one of his cousins actually got killed, and the rest one of them ended up like in a wheelchair and all this. So it was another rapper who had nothing to do with it. He ended up like making a song making fun of him. So then what happened from that was they ended up going back to the guy later on and unaliving him. And when they unalived him, the day they unalived him, they called the dad. And the dad came because they were just like, well, we over here stuck in some neighborhood. When the dad came over there, he basically um picked them up. And when they got in the car, they had told him how they kidnapped some white lady. There was like I guess police helicopters rolling around. There was a police officer actually seen them coming from the scene of the crime or seen the crime happen or something. I guess he didn't know who it was at the time, but I guess they was wearing masks or whatever. And so they ended up the dad ended up snitching on the son because he said basically when he went to jail for it for aiding and abetting them after the fact, um, the son had an opportunity to say my dad didn't have nothing to do with this,
Hmm.
and he could have, and then the son could have got off with like 30 years and whatever. He was like basically if you say the dad don't have nothing to do with this, we'll just give you 30 years if you go ahead and plead guilty. But he ended up taking it to trial, blue trial, ended up getting life, but he didn't get life for murder. They ended up getting him with a RICO charge. But the dad was like, I stitched on him because I got other kids. And for one, when I came to pick him up, he said I didn't even pick up the son. I came to pick up his friend or whatever. And I think one of his nephews or something. I came and picked them up. My son was off somewhere else or whatever, hiding. He said, but my son could have had opportunity, could have got me out of the situation, and he didn't. So in
Mm.
that situation, as a dad, would you have basically snitched, or would you had uh yeah, what basically would you have snitched?
Yeah, all the time. I'm saying like Patty. I ain't did nothing. I ain't did nothing. I
Now
went there.
let me go back before you continue. Let me go back for a second. The dad was a street guy himself. He did 10 years. I think it was 10 years before that, but then I guess when he got out, he changed his life. He was more like straight, got himself on the straight and narrow. But he was a
Okay.
street guy for years
Okay.
before that.
Okay.
So, you know what I mean?
What that mean? I'm not that guy anymore. I changed my life. I'm walking the straight and narrow, so I'm not that guy. And I'm not gonna leave my other kids who need me because you did some buffoonery. Yes, his name is such and such. He was born at this hospital. I remember when he was 3 years old, he bumped his head on the carpet table. We had to rush him to the hospital. I remember when he played. I remember when he played t-ball. He wanted to be just like Reggie Jackson. He wore number
Um,
17, and he tried to even have the glasses on like Reggie Jackson. Yeah, take him.
so you gonna be in there like 6'9", boy. You be telling stuff they ain't even asking you.
Yeah, yeah, bro. I ain't doing that for nobody. Call it what you want to call it. Say what you want to say. Tell you not. You better not do nothing rhyming because if you think they're gonna lock Jacob up, no sir. I'm telling.
Well, okay.
I signed
So
statements in I signed statements in cursive.
so so let me ask you about this. Let me ask you about this on this non-violent week of Martin Luther King birthday. Shout out to Martin Luther King birthday this week. To you know what I mean in his legacy. But I was gonna say this. Have you heard? Have you been watching or keeping up with the Corey Holcomb Anton Daniels story?
Man, listen. He told Corey Hogan told Anton Daniel, if you tell me to again, say it. I bet you won't say it.
Yeah. So he told him what you call it SMD him.
Yeah,
He said you be SMD in black folks or whatever.
yeah,
So I'm gonna say this, and everybody like getting on. Some people getting on Anton Daniels and saying that he weak and he soft. The only problem I had with Anton Daniels in that moment, in that whole situation, when they showed that last part of it, when they were sitting beside each other and they were going back and forth, is once you now you can say, I always say that you can say whatever you want to me, but once you talk about my woman or somebody or female that's with me, all bets is off. Like we gonna have to
yeah.
throw hands. We got to do something at this point. So when
Yeah.
that man started talking about whoever that woman that was with him, that should have been a thing. We gonna have to tear up this room. We gonna have to move some furniture now. You know what I'm
So
saying?
so I can who you think was scared and who you think was glad of it?
I don't think. I don't know. It's funny 'cause Anton Daniels said if you really watch his hand, watch Corey Holcomb hand talking about the mic, his hands was really shaking real bad when he was standing up on him like with the mic in his hand. I'm gonna say this. I just think Corey's a lot of bark. He's no bite. He does all this yapping and talking and whatever, especially about women and people, whatever. But I've never really seen Corey Holcomb go there. When Anton Daniels said, "Well, let's go outside," doggone Corey Holcomb never wanted to go outside. He never like, okay, let's get up and go. So at the end of the day, yeah, you talked all this smack to this man because you knew he wasn't gonna swing on you. But let that
Mhm.
be somebody, let's say somebody like Charles Oakley. You think Corey Holcomb talking crazy to Charles Oakley? I guarantee
Yeah.
you he won't. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
he ain't about to talk crazy chat.
Exactly. So certain people, he know who he could talk to crazy, and he know who not. Let's say that was the game. You think he talking crazy to the game? Everybody
No,
know how the game get down. You know
no,
what I'm
bro.
saying? So it's certain people that Corey Holcomb know I can talk crazy to, and they ain't gonna do nothing. But like I said, at the end of the day, you can talk all you want, but I guarantee you, if you
Hey,
got my
hey, bro.
if
Hey,
wifey,
bro.
huh?
Why you playing? He ain't about to talk crazy like that to Remy Ma either. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Exactly. So certain people he'll talk crazy to, but he won't. But he know like ain't nothing gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Anton Daniels was like after the fact, oh, I would have whooped Corey Holcomb's ass. So I think both of them was kind of a little scared of the other one. You know what I'm saying? I think the
Hey,
because
hey,
you know
hey,
why I know
hey,
he
Icon,
knew.
you think Corey Holmes gonna talk crazy Shandy Sharp like that?
No, no, not in person. No, no, not in person.
Nah, nah.
Mm-mm. No, I don't know. I don't think he would. I don't think he would done that in person. No, no. So not at
He,
all.
he ain't about to talk crazy to Illy Willie from Philly.
You stupid.
No.
Who was Illy Willie from Philly?
Will Smith.
Oh, hey. But
Hey man, listen. I know you think Chris Brown a funny, Chris Rock a funny character. And yeah, he's been a comedian for a long time. But 9 times out of 10, the only two things we gonna remember him from is Pookie that smoked the crack rock in New Jack City. He keep calling me and calling, I can't stop. And Will Smith slapping the shit out of him.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's the only thing we're gonna remember Chris Rock from, man.
Yeah.
He's never gonna be able to live down that he got slapped on national television.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's
People
go to
go,
this. Huh?
man, people, grandmama was trying to sing a hymn Passing out those gents like, hey, you seen that rock boy get slapped on national TV? Good Lord, and we need to pray for him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's talk about something that's been the biggest topic on probably most social media for the last couple of days, and that you probably know where I'm going with this,
Hey, I know you go.
and that's this whole Drewski thing. This whole I don't know if you thought I was going there, but that whole
Yeah,
Drewski.
yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, the pastors that made a rap song dissing Juicy.
See, and that's the thing. You know what's funny about that? You saying that because pastors don't supposed to go there. See, he fell. They falling right into his hands because pastors. Matter of fact, pastors shouldn't even be responding to him because at the end of the day, y'all supposed to be above the fray. Me and my mom had a big discussion about this before, and I said when they were talking about not Creflo Dollar, but TD Jakes. And I said the thing about it is, yes, my mama said y'all act like the man can't make no mistakes. I said, Mama, every man on earth can make mistakes. Every man, every woman can make a mistake and none of us is perfect. But the problem is the church has stopped holding pastors responsible and accountable for what they do. Every time when these mega church of pastors do something, everybody want to turn a blind eye. Everybody want to say, oh, it ain't that big of a deal. Everybody want to say, oh, they didn't make no mistakes. But at the end of the day, I said this today on my post. I said, it doesn't never made no sense to me how there's mega churches in poor neighborhoods. Who's giving them the money? Because the thing about it was, and Moretta made a good point. She said the crazy part about it is poor people give the most money to churches than when they don't even have it. It's like with wearing Jordans. Poor people make more or wear Jordans more in the hood than people in rich neighborhoods. You go to a rich white neighborhood. I bet you ain't gonna see probably how no Jordan. You're gonna see Skechers and you're gonna see touch puppies and stuff like that. You ain't gonna see no Jordans in no rich neighborhood. Not no white neighborhood, you ain't. You know what I'm saying? But black folk, we spend money on stuff we can't afford, and then we give all this money to the churches thinking they're gonna get us to heaven. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. And my thing is, why are all these if that old saying a hit dog holler? So obviously y'all know this man is right, because if he was wrong, y'all wouldn't say a word. Y'all wouldn't have a peeping thing to say. This ain't the first time somebody has made fun of pastors. Comedians been doing it from the beginning of time. But because he went so far when he was flying. I had pastors like that. I had a pastor one time, Jacob. I told you about my female pastor in McDonald. She used to walk across the chairs because we had those little fold-up chairs. That was not the chairs we had. She used to walk across the fold-up chairs like she was under some kind of power of God. And then she would just, everybody would like grab a hand to guide her from chair to chair. But she would walk from chair to chair, basically with her eyes closed, walking from chair to chair preaching. You know what I'm saying? Okay, God had you doing that? You know what I'm saying?
That's weird, man.
Yeah, exactly. That's weird. You know what I'm saying? That's very weird. So, but the thing about it is, and then pastors get mad. You see all these pastors now get mad at their congregation because they don't have tithes and offering like they supposed. Oh, y'all not paying y'all tithes and offering. My last church I went to, you know what I'm saying? The wife messed around, came to church one day with a brand new, I think it was a Range Rover or a Land Rover. I think it was a brand new Range, right? Then 6 months later, they begging the congregation talking about we ain't getting the tithes and offering that we was getting before. You know what I'm saying? Well, y'all need to go sell that Range then. You know what I'm saying? Quit begging people. Y'all wasn't begging before that. When y'all just got around and started spending all this money, you know what I'm saying, or whatever on material stuff. And I'm not saying a practice shouldn't have material stuff, but if you couldn't afford that Range, and these same pastors, I'm gonna leave that part alone. But these same pastors wasn't doing right, but they wasn't doing right in the first place. Then they start losing members, and they blame the members, and they were the type, well, oh, we did this for you, and we did that for you, and you gonna leave us, and we gonna start talking about the members that left. At the end of the day, if you doing something for your members, you got no right. You not positioned to complain about a person leaving, because you're supposed to be doing it based off of your feelings. When you're a pastor and you help people in the congregation, you're doing it based off of because God led you to do it, and that's what you're supposed to do as a church. You're supposed to help your church out. You don't supposed to like. I seen this lady online one time. She was talking about her mama had been giving the church like tithes and offers for like 40 years, and you know what I'm saying, and giving extra money and doing all kind of stuff for the church and everything else. And then I guess she came in some hard times, and she asked the church to pay her light bill. And they try to sit her mama down and say, well, we need to go over your budget to find out why you not managing your money right. And the daughter had to go up there and cuss them out and say, you know what? Since y'all gonna treat my mama like that, I want all the money she gonna put into this church. I need all that back. All her tithes and offering, I need all that back. Since y'all can't, this one time my mama asked y'all for some money for her light bill and y'all can't give it to her. She said basically it's paid for because she went and paid it herself. But she said it's the one time my mama asked y'all for something and y'all gonna had the nerve to say to her, like basically, you had the nerve to say to her, like, why you can't manage and you not managing your money. You know what I'm saying? So the church overall, not all of them, but a lot of them have gotten out of control with the way they treat
Yeah.
church. They treat church.
Oh,
Yeah, we know it's a business. I know church is a business. But don't
very
treat your
hypocritical
people
though.
like that. The people are not
Very,
obligated to do nothing that you started.
Very hypocritical, very excuse me, very hypocritical and very manipulative. Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. So at the end of the day, if you can't now, if you get rich, like I've known pastors who like was like, you know, therapists or doctors or, you know, had like like good jobs. So, you know, they'll put the money back or whatever, and some of those pastors, you okay, if you see them pull up in a Mercedes Benz or something nice or whatever the case may be, because they got regular jobs and you know what I mean, and they making good money. That's fine. But it's no way in the world that if you're a church and your money is coming from the people, that it should be a mega church. How is that even possible? Because, like, if you look at Creflo Dollar Church, and if you know a thing about Atlanta, Creflo Dollar Church sits is one of the worst streets in Atlanta on Old National Road Highway. If you see so many drug addicts, homeless people, the neighborhood as a whole is, you could tell it's, you know, it's the hood. There's no way if you're a mega church and you making millions of dollars that anybody should be go without what should be lacking on that street. Nobody. As a pastor, you should almost be dang near, I ain't gonna say broke, but you should be living check to check like everybody else. If you put your church in the neighborhood. If you want to put your church out in Alpharetta or Buckhead or one of these rich neighborhoods and let them rich folks give you money and whatever, and you know what I'm saying, and you good up there, then do it up there. But don't put no mega church in the hood and then you sitting here coming every day when your Rolls Royce and your nice vehicle, and then but you begging the people to give you money to keep that church going. But you can't feed them and you can't keep them going. You gonna pay all their rent? You gonna pay, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times these pastors will tell the people, well, we need your 10%. Well, 10% to some people is almost their whole check, or most of their check to
mhm.
pay other bills. Or you gotta have
Right.
faith in God. I'm not saying you don't have to have faith in God. But don't make these people feel guilty because they don't do it. There's other
Hmm.
ways you can give tithes and offerings. Most of the people in poor neighborhoods, what do? They're there at every picnic. They're there after church, cleaning up the church. They're there, whatever else you ask them to do, they're gonna do it. They just might not have the money to give you every Sunday. So
Yep.
that needs to stop.
And then most other people that's like that. If they cook Sunday dinner, they go feed the sick in the shed.
Exactly. Exactly. So there's other ways that people that's in those, especially them elderly people that's already balling on a budget because they only get they you know they got a budget, the money they get from retirement. So they can't they may not necessarily have the whole 10% all the time. They give what they can. So don't be, but they be the main one, Miss Johnston and them, and brother and brother Earl and all them, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. They the ones that's gonna be in that church door every time it swings open and close. They're gonna be the ones that making sure everybody good in the neighborhood, going by, checking on people, the sick and shut in, going to the hospitals, you know, maybe doing some caravan, carpooling, and making sure people get back and forth to church and wherever they need to go. You know what I'm saying? So instead of talking bad about them and looking down on them when they can't give you money, uplift them, lift them up, especially these mega churches. I'm so sick of these mega churches. I couldn't. No, ain't not. You can't get me to go near none of them. Not one of them, because all of them. I feel like all of them crooked. Every
Yeah,
last
man.
one of them. I don't care what you say.
I was reading something on Paula Paula White King, and like, she took somebody was telling me, man, she take about $60,000 in a Sunday. I said, what? She take what in a Sunday? I said, take about 60K, man. I said, it's a lot of people that you see every day that don't make 60K a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, she's taking that in every Sunday. I said,
Mm-hmm.
man, that's a lot of money, man. That's
Mm-hmm.
a lot. That's a lot of money in a month's time.
Yep. 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 But
Then,
anyway, brother,
but
it's
like I
another
said,
great show. This
yeah.
is our first show in about a month. You know what I mean, on the
It,
95 South Side.
oh yeah.
Um, but I appreciate it. I appreciate all the support that we've had. And we just gonna get back to the basics. We're gonna get back. We gonna make the main thing again. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because we kind of got away from the main thing. You know what I'm saying? And who knows? No. But at the end of the day, we back in our world, our element. It feel good to be back doing this again. Or whatever. And we just gonna take 2026. Trust me, some big things coming, some huge things coming. You know what I'm saying? So y'all just stay tuned, keep rocking with us. Shout out to Roku 810 Studios. Shout out to InspireRadio.com, our new affiliates. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all our fans, that's out there that's always supporting us. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, once again, happy birthday to Martin Luther King Jr. And he be rolling off his grave if he see how things going right now. So we need to do better. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, everybody have a blessed and wonderful night. See y'all next time.
Peace.
Brown skin girl, and she knew